Najibullah Zazi, the Afghan national who's been the focal point of this terror probe, was arrested at his home outside Denver Saturday night, along with his father, Mohammed Zazi. The owner of this Muslim burial service in Queens, New York, Ahmad Afzali, was the third taken into custody. All are charged with making false statements to the FBI during a terror investigation. Court documents reveal no details about the timing or targeting of the alleged explosives plot. But they allege that Najibullah Zazi lied about 9 pages of detailed bomb-making instructions found on his computer.
The FBI had taken his computer, had mirrored it, had copied it. In essence, put it back in his car. Mr. Najee did not know that that happened, apparently. So when he was questioned about whether or not he knew anything about these written notes, and it was showed to him, he denied that knowledge.
The court documents also allege that Najibullah Zazi admitted getting explosives and weapons training at an al-Qaeda camp in Pakistan, though Zazi and his lawyer claimed Saturday he had not made such an admission. Experts say the charges were filed to pressure the men into cooperating with the ongoing investigation of Najibullah Zazi.
What direction is he getting from al-Qaeda members in the federally administrated tribal areas in addition to the training that he got? Secondly, who else has he communicated with here in the United States? Obviously, the government has some idea of who that is based on their surveillance, both electronic and physical. But what they want to do is make sure they've identified the entire net, the whole range of conspirators.
In Queens, New York, where one of the arrests took place, a member of the Muslim community expressed surprise the alleged plot had come to light now.
It's the end of Ramadan. People are more humble, people are more religious. It would be very hard for me to imagine people will be doing wrong deeds during that month, especially at that time of the year.
Experts say it's possible, even probable, that additional charges will be brought, and they say it's likely the government revealed as little as possible in these first charges as it shores up its case and continues its investigation in the U.S., Pakistan, and elsewhere. Jean Meserve, CNN, Denver.
All right, let's go deeper into the people at the center of this developing story. Denver Post reporter Bruce Finley has been digging, a lot of digging actually, and he interviewed Najibullah Zazi and members of his family. Finley joins me now live from Denver. So, Bruce, I'm curious, how did you track him down, get him to talk to you, and what did he say?
Hi, Kara. Well, quite a good team effort by our reporters at the Post. We were able to locate Najibullah, starting just with that name, heard by a police reporter over the scanner, Najibullah, and then working through electronic databases, public records on traffic tickets, and shuttle drivers database, find an address. Interviews with his aunt and uncle first helped piece together his life story as a boy from Paktia province in Afghanistan coming over to Peshawar, the border city between Pakistan and Afghanistan. He said his wife is there. He'd gone back, as those charging documents show, in August of '08 through January this year for a visit. From there, we went to his apartment where he was staying with his father. A bit awkward, really, because it's Ramadan. They're barefoot there in the doorway, and there had been no accusation made yet. But he confirmed a lot of that story and also asserted quite strongly that he had no ties to any terrorism. Subsequent talks over the phone, he seemed a bit more hesitant, punting to the attorney.
And so, what about other family? I mean, I guess, in any way, shape, or form, when you talk to him, other members of the family, did anything strike you as odd or unusual? Or it's one of those moments where you're comfortably uncomfortable, as we like to say in this business. You're treading on a real kind of, I guess, thin line in many ways. What was your sense about what he was telling you and what's come about now?
Well, I think they were all quite gracious under the circumstances to talk with us. I found it interesting that in talking with his father, Mohammed, after one of the lengthy questioning sessions by the FBI, it was a bit harried, but he told me that he wasn't really hearing the full story from his son. Similarly, an uncle that I interviewed said that he'd been asking Najibullah, well, why would you go on September 9th and 10th in a rented car to New York if you're from Afghanistan? And he didn't feel he was getting quite a straight answer. That certainly jibes with my feeling from the direct conversations I had, also brief, where he was hesitant as I pushed further on to, you know, why would you go in a car then? What was the purpose of your visit? Officially, they've emphasized that they went there for a family business matter to deal with a coffee cart that they owned there in Flushing, Queens.
Let me ask you this too, as a reporter in that area. Why Denver? Why do they reside in Denver? And definitely, too, if as this pushes forward, and right now it's an alleged plot, but as we see this all play out, you know, you would expect to see something like this: New York, Washington, Los Angeles, but Denver. It's a bit unusual, or maybe it's not.
I suppose from a counterterrorism perspective, in an intertwined world, any globally oriented major city would serve as well as any other. Denver has a fast-growing foreign-born population of about 1 in 7 residents, and with pockets of people from all over the world, including about 1,000 or so from Afghanistan. There's a new one of the many mosques I visited early in the week, just with people from Afghanistan and Pashtun people from Pakistan who were worshiping there during the Ramadan.
Well, Bruce, I tell you what.
I think it's to emphasize the only charges they've got are non-terrorism charges at this point. That the charging documents show that the government asserts in one sentence that this is part of a plot to detonate homemade bombs in the U.S., but there's only that one sentence, and as your reporting has emphasized, really they just have them on making false statements at this point.
Right. And obviously you'll be investigating it, the Post, your team, and we will as well. But you do tremendous work, Bruce, and really appreciate you spending some time with me today. Thanks so much.
The pleasure's mine.
All right, let's bring you up to speed now on the backstory. This is what happened on September 9th. Najibullah